Show we're going to be covering, lately I've been doing a bunch of design portfolio reviews. Yeah, I mean, I'm having fun with it. I just need a break sometimes from portfolio reviews. So today we're going to be covering some different stuff. So just wanted to start that off. We are doing some housekeeping. First step is is yeah, we got to cover that. So hey, how's it going, May? Yo, I forgot. I was going to show you the portfolio of the guy that I hired at my last startup that I hired for. Maybe we'll do that later. But again, today we're not doing portfolio reviews. I love portfolio reviews. I'm getting bored of them. I need some shakeups sometimes. So Vendom, how you doing? Mr. Un, how you doing? Or Mr. Run, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be a great day today. We're gonna do a mini little UI tutorial thing that I did when I started as a designer, but also it's just good to do all the time. I honestly miss having the time to do this. I used to do it when I was at my startup that I worked at last year, just to get warmed up. So gonna cover that a little bit, and then we're going to make something cool. It's blurry. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not blurry enough. Can you guys read that? There you go. We're gonna make something cool, and then we're gonna go make a. We're gonna talk about Figma. Big update in Figma land. Basically, yeah, like 3 days ago they dropped the ability to do variable mode switching inside of variables and prototyping. So yeah, we're gonna cover that on how to do it and all of that stuff because it's really fun. And then we're just gonna chill a little bit. So should go over constraints sometimes. I find it a little confusing. Oh hell yeah, that's a really great idea, Matt. Actually, on Instagram, I did a collab with Figma where we covered constraints. It was a quick video, but I think that might be a great idea to do a whole tutorial on that. So check back next week. I'll do that. I love that idea with constraints because it is one that's really hard to know. Hey, Mr. Deepak, just a heads up. I cannot read questions on Instagram's live UI from the computer. I'm streaming from my computer, and Instagram live UI is probably the worst fucking UI I've ever seen of a large product like that. Maybe we need to go redesign it one day. But yo, Andy's in the house. What's up, bro? Love it. Yeah. So by the way, if you want to come hang out with me. Hey, Fatima, stay for 5 minutes. I'm going to tell you how to fucking learn UX. I promise, okay? We're going to get into that in this recreation because it's a big one. What's going on, Peony? What's going on? Hey, Begin, or Biggin, whatever. Either way, if you are on a computer, come join me. Go to this link. Andy's in the house. Andy's a in real life friend, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I can save this live. Yes, I know it's late. Damn, you're up from India. Okay, well, appreciate you being up. Hanging with me. You can go on my YouTube. I'm streaming over there right now. And today's show is going to be a big one. Lots of juice coming in. Lots of juice. Go vote on the poll. You made a poll? Okay, Karma. Everybody say hi, Karma, over on TikTok. He's my social media manager. And more than that, I don't know. That's the best title for him, but he just does everything. So, yes, I can drop the link. Come hang out right here. In this thing. Okay, let's get to the fucking show. I'm ready to go. Today is a new show, okay? I'm doing shows now. So Wednesdays are portfolio reviews. Fridays are let's have some fucking fun and learn some stuff. So let's go have some fun and learn some fucking stuff. Let's go. All right, cool. Let's me switch over to titles. Look at me. Yes. Okay. We are officially on to, what does it say again? What is it? I forget what it says. Oh, 70 Rad. Okay, yeah, duh. Okay. So, 70 Rad is a free design challenge. Yeah, you have a question. I'm a mobile programmer and I have a hard time designing my app. Let's go. This is gonna train you. Lumiel. Okay, follow me. Follow along. So I've got a free design challenge where it's like a newsletter. Every day you get a task to do, and today we are gonna do one of those tasks. We're gonna do 70 Rad day 9. Okay, day 9 of 70 Rad. Let's go pop in, and yeah, we're gonna redesign this. Basically, that's what I did every day. For when I started, and the truth is I didn't even do it every day, but looking back on it, this was the stuff that made me really learn and really grow through just training yourself to do the best UI out there, right? Like they say practice makes perfect, right? But no. It's perfect practice makes perfect. And if you're just winging it and you're just like, hey, I'm going to go make a cool app, and then you get in and you're like, fuck, this looks horrible, right? By the end of it, you're like, why does it not look good? And the truth is you need to get more reps. You need to get more reps in. And that's what we're going to cover with 70 Rad. That's the big thing that I cover. But we're going to go do a rep, okay? And I'm going to show you how I would recommend doing these reps inside of 70 Rad. By the way, this is a free challenge. You can join that on my from my bio link, okay? All right, let's dig into it. Okay, so this was day 9, and Mohab, definitely down to look at it. I've got a portfolio review link in my bio. I'm not doing portfolio reviews right now, though. Today we're covering some fun stuff. So first, basically, what we want to do is we're not going to trace it, right? We're not going to sit here and design on top of it, right? No, that doesn't get you the real juice. What you're trying to build is reps, right? And you're trying to build good reps, and by reps I mean repetitions. Okay, so you work out, right? You want biceps, right? You know that you got to do fucking curls all the time, right? Boom, 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 boom. And so this is our curls today as designers, and so let's go do it. So I'm gonna press the I key, and I'm gonna color pick for that. Let's put it in a nice little, let's put a rectangle back here so we can view that. Okay, let's just put that in a section. Oh dear Lord. Okay, I've got my Creator Micro here. Anybody get their Creator Micro yet? Would love to hear if you're liking it. I'm loving it. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna find your dream job. Now look, here's the thing. We want to optimize as much as we can, right? We want to be making these designs as pretty and just like this as much as we can, right? However, the other side is don't stress about it. This is meant to be a rep. It's not meant to be perfection, right? And so I'm just going to go off of Inter because it feels pretty good. I don't think that's Inter font. I don't really know what font that is. Maybe, I don't know. It feels Inter-y, right? So just pick Inter. Can we add some animations using the new features to the challenge? Yeah, that's a great idea. Definitely go for it. I should update the 70 Rad, to be honest with you. Now there's this icon here, right? And do we want to recreate this icon? Maybe. If today I'm feeling decadent, and today I'm feeling man, I really want to practice iconography a bit, I'm gonna come in here and I'll trace this out to see exactly how that iconography looks. However, I would say you don't need to worry about going perfect on iconography in these. Again, this is just reps, right? We're just trying to get reps on 70 Rad, and that's what we're doing. So here, I'm gonna jump back over here. Boom. I'm going to put a rectangle behind that by pressing R. Put that behind. Oh geez, I made that way too rounded. That looks okay. It's definitely not the right deal. I'm gonna color pick though. Definitely cool to color pick, right? We don't, again, we're just focusing on speed here. I am speed. By the way, so 70 Rad basically is a 70-day challenge, and you're going to every day. Oh geez. Every day you're gonna design something, right? And this is the one thing that we're designing today. Oh, duh. I was like, why does that feel so lopsided? Oh, well, because it's lopsided. So there we go. I'm gonna mix those up. All right, perfect. I'm your crush. Oh, thanks so much, Alvaro. Appreciate you. I'm taken. Okay. How do you choose the right font for your app? Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I could probably go at length into that. So let's go at length into that at another time. Too long, don't read. Just go find some cool fonts on Google Fonts or Typekit. That's what I like to aim for. You know what? I think that they did a little bubbly on this. Yeah, that feels right. Okay, so if you're just joining, we are currently doing a little design session, really quick. This is what my design challenge has you do. Basically, you jump in and you're going to do a mini design every day, and basically the mini design is recreate this design. Right now, this was made by Taraz Migulko. You can find it on Dribbble, right? But so this is not my design at all. But what it is though is a way to practice design, because I like the layout, like, right, the spacing on this is pretty nice, the way that they did colors. I mean, you probably could even skip this splash screen, to be fair, because, like, splash screens are cool. I mostly just wanted to do it because, like, it feels cool, right? But when you're doing the 70 rad, you can definitely skip this because it's definitely not necessary. So what's up, Rogan Talks? Yo, you changed your profile pic. I almost didn't recognize you. Submit your email for 70 rad just now. You should get the challenge tomorrow. Tomorrow you get your first challenge. But maybe if you're feeling decadent, just go over on Dribbble and grab something. And because that's what I did to build this challenge, right? Is I just kind of curated other people's cool designs, and then I told everybody, hey, go redesign these. And again, when you're making these, I'm very apparent on this. Do not say that this was my design. Do not say, hey, I just made Nolan's design, right? You could say, hey, I did 70 rad design challenge, by Nolan, and this is today's design. But please also mention, whoever it is. Like in this case, is Taraz, right? There was a few people early on who were like really they were even trying to it was close. I couldn't tell if they were trying to or not, but it felt like they were legit trying to get away with acting like it was their designs. And I got like super like, bro, take this down, because damn, you know what I mean? If you want to get good at visual design, I would go to Dribbble to recreate. But if you want to be, go for it. Come on, Zach. What you got? What you got? I'm guessing you were going to say if you want to be a good product designer, use Mobbin. Okay, yeah, and that's cool. So here's the thing. Is like Mobbin for sure is where live designs are, right? Not trying to say that's not the case, right? But what I would say about Mobbin is, there's so many screens, you're going to spend like probably 10, 20 minutes just finding the right app, and then spending more time finding the right screen that you want to actually recreate, right? And this again is all about just getting reps in as fast as you can. And so my suggestion would be, if you're gonna use Mobbin, just grab the first app that pops up on the feed, and then from there, hold on, brain power, okay. And then from there, you need to go, just get right into design as fast as you can. Pick like the onboarding screens, right, or the dashboard, right. But even then, it's kind of hard to navigate Mobbin sometimes for some stuff like that, right. But yeah, this is fun. Just like seeing how they did it. All right, here we go. Maybe I should pop on some vibey music. What do you think? Here we go. Should probably put some styles on these, right? This is kind of like amongst everything else. So, yeah. With visual design, I think it's too often people trying to become product designers start with visual design and maybe miss out on good. So, look, dude, here's the thing, Zach. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you a big-time rebuttal on that. That I used to think the same thing. I used to think, man, UX is everything, and it really is. It really is. But here's the thing: is like if this is UX, right? This is UX, right? This is UI, right? It's inside of UX, right? You can't have one without the other, right? Like you can't have good UI that doesn't actually value any of the user experience or strategy or actually accomplishes business goals. Because otherwise, you're just making art. You know what I mean? And so because of that, UI lives inside of UX, and good UI makes for a better user experience, in my opinion. Because people are accustomed now to really good design, and the second that you have something that really starts to stand out in a nice, visual, appealing way that doesn't detract from the actual experience, then I think that there's room there for UI to actually improve UX. Now, that's one side of it. The other side, that's the bigger side, is look, in the past year, I've hired 2 junior designers, right? Now, they were juniors, so I'll grant you that. But in that, I reviewed about 400 portfolios, 300 portfolios each time. There was a little bit more here and there. A lot of them were like drive links and shit, though. So cut out some of the juice out of that. But when I went to review them, out of the 700 portfolios that I definitely reviewed personally, like went through the fucking portfolio on, less than 30, in my opinion, had good visual design skills. And you can't be a product designer with only UX design skills. You cannot, right? You've got to have good UI skills. Like otherwise you're just going to be, pushing for UX, and you can't stand out as a junior designer in the UX world because you've never done anything, right? And so you're sitting there going up against everybody else with the same exact like works and process, and like, hey, look, I do this and this, and then I went and did some interviews, and all this. Like, no, like it's so hard to be good at UX without having built and shipped stuff. Not even built stuff, just shipped stuff. And then seeing how it fucking crumbled, right? Because every time you design, you fail, right? Like, let's just be real with that. And so the big thing that we need to accomplish as educators is to say, yeah, hey, focus on UX, but understand that you're not going to get a product design job without being good at UI. Like, let's be real, let's be clear about that, as clear as we can, because I don't think that it's talked about enough. And I think this is what happens is you say design, Zach, that early people just focus on the visual design side too much. I don't think they do. I think what happens is they come in, they realize, shit, I kind of suck at this. Like, I'm not, I'm not able to actually make this look like I wanted it to. And then what they realize is, oh, hey, I could go use my brain and do creative problem solving, and then I can get a job doing that. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go focus on UX because everybody's telling me I should focus on the UX and the strategy anyways. So perfect. Yeah, let me just do that, and then I'll get a job and I'll get good at the visual, or just avoid the visual altogether. And then what happens is they're never getting any interviews, right? And they're left wondering, what the fuck am I doing? Why can't I get a job? And we as educators are sitting here saying, hey, bro, just keep going because you'll get a job eventually. But no, you got to be building your skills on the whole thing, on the entirety of the circle. And a big part of that is UI, right? And that was a long tangent. I hope, like, I'm coming off really intense, but honestly, I was planning to make a UX course, right? And then I hired 2 people. Both times was brutal in the amount of like, man, I people who I could tell could think well just couldn't do the UI at all. And it's like, dude, that's a lot of the work that I need you to do is the UI stuff. And meanwhile, there were other people, not many, but there was like 20 or 30 who could actually who could do some stuff and had some processes around it. And so I think, yeah, like, we're doing a disservice by pushing too hard on the UX side. What do y'all think about that? Is UX working in an ongoing project? Need to evaluate it first before doing anything. So how you're going to evaluate it without understanding UI? That's fair too. And I mean, here. Hey, somebody asked about constraints earlier. Here, I'm going to show you a little constraints tip. So right here, I want to move this out so that it's evenly spaced. I want to make sure that this bell is sitting on the right and that the arrow is sitting on the left. Well, here, let me show you how do I do this, okay? Here we go. Ready? So it's inside of a frame. That's the trick, is it's got to be inside of a frame. I'm going to bring this back in. It's got to be inside of here, I'm going to drag this down. Shit. Instead of a group, it's got to be a frame. And then from there, double click onto this bell. And over here, make it right and make this one left, and then put both at vertically center, and then watch what happens. Here we go. Look at that. Magic. That's the power of constraints right there. Honestly, probably could use auto layout in general, but let's just start with that. We'll go with that. You know what I mean? Understanding UI is valuable, but I think the main point is Dribbble tends to promote. Yeah. Okay. So, and then here's the other thing. So, I didn't land the ship. So let me go back and land that ship really quick. So when I was doing design, or when I was hiring people, I was going in and I was saying oh shit, like, there is a serious lack of UI education out there. People cannot take UX strategy and turn it into UI, right? That is like the single thing that a product designer does, right? Or not the single thing. Sorry. You come up with a strategy, but junior product designers are often the ones who are taking the IA and then, mapping that part out, doing the wireframing and stuff like that. And so when you're in that world, like there's a specific process you need to take when going into that. And I could tell people were not doing that. And it starts with, in my opinion, yo, send me some love you. Hey, much love, Liam Levy. Appreciate you. Okay, let me continue. Sorry. So anyways, when I was doing that and I found that, the people weren't able to cut it on the design side or the where was I? Fuck. Let me land the ship. I'm going to come back to it. Hold on. I'm landing the ship. It's coming. It's coming back to me, okay? By the way, you should not make a search icon like I just did. I'm just trying to move fast. That was fucking brutal. Don't do what I just did. Okay. So, reading your understanding UI. Okay, here's the thing though. And this is the part. This is the real big part that, in my opinion, is when you're doing design, when you're doing IA and you're taking UX strategy and turning it into designs, the big start is where that you need to start at is visualizing your ideas, right? Through mood boarding, right? You don't want to spend time wasted designing in the wrong direction, that off of context that you didn't understand when you thought you did, right? Because that'll make you look not smart to the stakeholder or whatever. So that's one big one. But then the next biggest thing though is to be able to actually test your ideas without going and designing, right? And you do that through inspiration. You say, hey, okay, so based on the experience that we need to cover, we need to do this, this, and this, right? That means that we need to have a grid or maybe a slider or, we need a filter, but should that be a drop down or should it be tagged row? I don't know. Let's go figure it out. And so you go on Dribbble or Pinterest or Mobbin and you find inspiration that is going to specifically address the thing that you want it to address, right? You're not just going to Dribbble to find vibes, right? You're going to Dribbble to say, hey, I'm looking for a card slider that looks really fucking good, right? And when you do that, when you have that approach, you can not only be the best UI designer out there, you can also have great UX, right? And so, I hear so much that Dribbble gets shat on so much that it's not good UX. Yeah, maybe it's not good UX, but also yeah, exactly, Zach. If you're never searching for vibes, if you're looking for specific layout or module or experience, then you've already done the UX, right? You're just looking for you're curating at that point, right? And so, yeah, that's my big thing. And so, honestly, a lot of this is why I made the course that I made, the UI course that I made, right? Is that that people are not in my opinion are jumping ship to go to UX too early, and it's to their detriment because it's leaving them in a spot where they can't stand out. That's the thing. They can't stand out until you have done stuff, shipped it, and then seen where it broke and then tried to optimize it. That is the only time that you can understand and learn UX. You can understand the theory, the process, but you can't say you can't just there's never a one size fit all situation, right? And so every notch on your belt, every scar that you get, every war story that you go through is what builds towards your UX chops. You know what I mean? And so that's why I push for, or I've been pushing for lately, that juniors should focus on UI and visual design skills while understanding and learning the process that we take as UX practitioners, but then understand that, hey, be careful just focusing on that side, on either side, right? Same deal. If you were just learning UI, then you probably would have a tough time getting a job because you can't take a process or you can't take an issue or a problem and find a way to optimize it in a processed way, right? So that's not lost on me. But I think the next biggest thing though is to say, once you understand the steps we have to take, understand that you're not going to be able to practice those steps in the real world until you have a job. And so then what are you left to do as a junior level designer without a job? It's make yourself be able to say, hey, look, I did this process on this project. Who's to say if that worked or not? I say it does, blah, blah, blah. But then, next step is for you to, as a designer, say, look, I can really crush UI. You don't need to fucking worry about my UI skills. And you might be able to find a spot where somebody's like, hey, like their UX is untested, whatever, but at least I can throw UI work at them. Like the kind of like workhorse type work, right? And that's good because you want that type of work when you're young in your career, so that way you can like just get a lot of experience, get in on those talks, and like understand what people are saying and all that and how it works. So, all right, can't find anything on Dribbble because I work in niche technical product. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's a really good point. And like, I'm sitting here talking a lot about Dribbble. I actually don't like going to find moods on Dribbble. I like going to Pinterest, and then often I find Dribbble-y stuff in there. It's kind of the steps I typically take. But yeah. Nike UX intern soon. Any tips? I don't know. I've never worked in a corporate environment, to be honest with you. I've only ever worked at startups. So, can't really say too much beyond just like, try to be in on every call as you can. I'm guessing it's on site because I saw a thing that Nike was saying that they wanted everybody back on job. But yeah, so like just be in as many meetings as you can to just soak up as much as you can, because that's what I was just saying is like that's what juniors need in the beginning is just like the max amount of like fly on the wall, watching how people talk to each other and then what happens afterwards. You know what I mean? Like you can be a very effective person in this world. And not have to like yell at people or push your way, and so like trying to find the ways that the real practitioners do that's the juice there, so yeah, I mean, very generic advice there. Worked at Nike was the worst year of your life. Oh God. Damn, bro. What'd you do at Nike, Zach? Like, were you an intern as well, or were you like actually a formal role? Yeah, shit. You're right, Tamara. Sorry. Yeah, congrats on the internship. My bad, Chicken Nug. Yeah, big congrats on the internship. Oh, what's up, Nicole? How you doing? Welcome to the file. Sohan, yes, I do remember Stranded Unicorns. I think about it all the time. But yeah, one day it'll get revived. I'm hoping. For now though, I gotta keep cranking on my stuff that I'm doing here, which is. We're just vibing with everybody, right? Are you guys vibing? I'm vibing today. Oh, shit. What happened? Where'd I go? Oh, I went to a different file. Where are we? There it is. Cool. Brand designer at Nike and young athletes. Heard things gotten better. Okay. Well, that's cool. Hopefully it stays. Always vibing. Yup. This was like 10 years old and culture was really toxic. Okay. Yeah. John, I cannot give you access to the file, dude. No. I don't have money like that where I could just like let everybody come be editors on my Figma situation here. It's funny. So I do collabs with Figma often, and one of the big collabs that I've been pushing for is I really want to get a design session where a bunch of us design together. You know what I mean? How cool would that be? Where we're all just like. Like 20 people are designing the same file. Like, that'd be fucking madness, right? But doesn't it sound fun though? So anyways, I'm gonna do that as much as I can. Or I'm pushing for that as much as I can. But then it's funny. I was pitching this idea, and they were like, well, maybe we should do something at Config about that. And so I was like, let's do it. And so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to Config. Do you know that Figma calls it Config? Why? It's called config. Like the word is config, right? Like a config file. That's how you say it in development terms, right? Isn't it? I'm not on Discord right now, but I do have a Discord server. I honestly I haven't been in there much lately, but yeah, sorry, Instagram, I haven't been looking over. But yeah, what am I doing today? Well, today we are doing some fun stuff. We are, yeah, I'm just kind of getting tired of doing portfolio reviews all the time. I'm definitely gonna still do them, just not today. And yeah, so that's where we're starting. And today, what I'm doing is I'm just doing a little exercise of that I think every junior designer should do, or wannabe junior designer specifically too. When you're first starting out, this is what I did. Was to hone my visual design skills, because like and we're having a nice lively debate, me and Design by Zach over on TikTok. And the truth is like, I do not want to discount how important it is to be strategic in design, right? Like that's the whole point of us being designers, is not to like make stuff that looks cool, right? So that's not lost on me. That needs to be said. Is that you as a designer are not making art. What you're doing is you're making a business function, right? You are. Hold on, I gotta type full time New York. Okay. We're not artists, right? As designers, we are serving a business function, and so with that business function, lives and dies by the strategy that we're going about our designs, and then the ultimate UI that addresses that strategy, right? So all that said, it's not lost on me how important the UX side is. Now, having said that, I think that a lot of designers in the or early days, they get a valley of despair point on their designs, right? They're like this. So they're sitting here. They're here on their trajectory, right? They're like, hey, this is really oh god. Like I'm having fun and I'm learning a lot. And like, wow, I know how to do colors. I know how to do color accessibility. I'm fucking killing it. Like I think there's like only a few days now until I get a job. And then they realize like, wait, oh shit, no. There's like so much, like I've learned the shallowest layer of all of this, right? And I have to spend hours and hours and hours and weeks and weeks and weeks learning this craft, learning how to do typography strategically, learning how to work with information architecture, all that stuff. That is like the core, right? And so you realize like, no, dude, I'm fucked. This is going to take so long before I'm there. And I think it's at that point that people start branching. People start saying, well, hey, I can understand the process of UX design. Okay. Like, yeah, I mean, all that makes sense. I think I can administer a user test. Like, yeah, I mean, I think I could do some competitive analysis. I get this, right? And so then they start branching off. But the truth is the world of UX is way deeper, right? And so they think it's like they think that this is all they've got, right, to be able to get to a job. But it's like this, dude. Whereas UI, you keep honing your skills, you keep practicing, you'll get there. You know what I mean? You'll get there. And I mean, like, that's a very crude, like, broad-reaching example or mock-up of why, like, what I see junior designers doing or young designers doing. But I do think that it is happening, and it's a problem for new designers because you're left being like, man, it's just around the corner. I'm applying, nobody's replying back, and it's because you think you could go from like learning about this industry, grinding a little bit, and then in a few like months, you're in a spot where you can get a job in the UX field. Got news for you. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. And yeah, like maybe it is. Maybe you're like fucking brilliant, right? Let's just say that. Maybe you're fucking brilliant and you can do it, right? And so, I'm sure it's happened, right? But I'll just say it's not the rule. It's the exception. You know what I mean? Because again, you can only learn that shit through battle scars and a bunch of other stuff. So yes, there is a file or a link to this file. Come on over. And I just wrapped up. I mean, definitely, I could probably do more detailed on the spacing and stuff like that. I just want to get this fucking done because I've been spending so much time on it. But this was day 9 of 70 Rad. That's my design challenge. Well, it's a free design challenge where you can just hone your skills. And so every day you're going to get an email that says that's like this, and it's like, hey, go redesign this. And yeah, so I just did that. I just kind of demoed that and talked about how important it is to do that. So anyways, that was the first step of the day. And yeah, if you want to come join the show, come on over. I'm about to get into some tutorials stuff. So, but yeah, if you want to join the show, head over. Yeah, switching over from being visual design to product is a much harder transition than people think. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, okay, argument here for you then. Argument here is, isn't it hard in general to be a product designer, like to break in, right? Isn't it? I think it is. You know what I mean? I think it just takes a lot of work because, I mean, like, so I think this is the struggle that I see is, going from zero to product designer feels like a really long, like a really hard way to get there, right? But if you say, I'm going to be a designer eventually, and I'm not going to go do product for a while. I'm going to go be a web designer, or I'm going to like learn motion graphics or whatever. Like, and I'm not saying like you have to go do that stuff, but I think that it's in those moments where you set yourself up for survival till you get there. And that's, I think, the most important thing about this like breaking in, going from pre-career to career in this thing, is that you gotta grind for a while. And so you gotta be passionate and find a way to stay passionate about it the whole way. So Simply Possible, I did it, then anyone can. I love that. Yeah. So, I mean, same, right? Same with me. And like, honestly, a lot of my time is spent trying to think back to my early career, where I was still like, why can't I fucking break in? It's and I think that's like the thing where what I keep coming back to is my greatest moments of my early career was built on my visual design skills, and they got me doors opened that led me to the next door. And I think that's the thing for me is like, it took me like 4 years to be, 6 years before I was on a product team. It took me 4 years before I got my first like job, and then the first like 3 years of my career I was spent like building my own startups. And so like, I think I took a weird way, right? But I think that it is a way, right? Is that through my visual design skills, I was able to get my startup going in a big way. And then through my visual design skills, was able to, even get like on the front page of Yahoo with that. And then, we started getting investor talks and shit like that. And we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We ran into the ground, right? Like, let's be real on that. But also I learned so much through that led me to be where I was when I started going after the agency jobs, because I couldn't get into product design because I would like, there wasn't many remote spots or easy to find remote jobs. And I kind of like, I live in Florida. I didn't really want to move. And so for me, that was where I was like, I kind of made the decision to just go agency route. And when I got in there though, I fucking moved, right? Because I had spent so much time hustling on my own. And I ended up, like being a big player in the agency, kind of switched us from a web focus to product focus by the time I left. And yeah, and then I started getting product work, closing deals at that agency, like made those products launch. It was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? And then that's when I got into a product team. And so, like that's my role. That's my route that I took. And, I'm still finding my route, right? I'm here talking about design instead of doing design. But, you know what they say, those who can't do, teach. And so here I am. Had to bug all the product designers to let me work on the projects with them. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's like there's no easy road to this because like you get to use your brain to make cool looking shit, and you get paid like really good money for it, and like of course it's gonna be hard to break in. You know what I mean? So I think like boot camps really fucking killed it. When I got in, we were like boot camps weren't really a thing that much back then, and they started bumping. By the time I was like getting an agency job, and I think it just like it flooded the market with people who thought they were gonna get an easy route. Yeah. All right, so we're chilling. Hey Nolan, will this be live be posted to YouTube? Yep, I'm actually live on YouTube right now. So head on over to my YouTube, give me a subscribe over there, and we got live over there. So far, I just pulled a moment that we were gonna do a section where I was gonna make a button, but we're already almost 45 minutes in. So I'd love to get into the tutorial, which is the main thing that I wanted to talk about today, actually. So I was hoping that the 70 round would go quicker, but I kept getting distracted by me. But it was good vibes, though. It was good vibes. And designed by Zach. I appreciate every fucking word that you're saying. So thanks so much for joining and chatting and love it. Please stay. Please stay. Don't go anywhere. Yo, I'm not a doer. Should I teach then? I love it, Chaco. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like... You could do it. And that's, look, I'm painting with a broad brush right now, but I truthfully think that boot camps, Memorize these boot camp seems pretty solid. So I'll give that. I actually hired Nicole, who went through Memorize these boot camp. So can vouch that it seems pretty good. Now, that's my only experience with an actual person who went through it. But from the other side, from everything that I've heard on like Reddit and individual people who went through it that I haven't worked with, so who knows what their skills are or whatever, it feels like it's led by people who are not passionate. It feels like a lot of the managers of the classes of boot camps are led by people who are just like, either they couldn't make it, they didn't want to make it, and then now they're teaching. And I think that's where that term comes from, like those who can't do teach. For me though, I'm focused on doing still, right? I'm teaching and doing. That's my thing. But my thing is I want to do for myself. I'm no longer doing for another startup. It's kind of my distinguisher, right? But yeah, that's my answer for all that. But Boo, thanks so much for following. Appreciate you. Pompey, you're over on YouTube. Sorry, I've been missing YouTube chat. Yeah. And Akshay's jumping in again. Fucking, sorry. Just, I don't even want to say it again. Because you already got me last time. So, that's usually with boot camps. They are marketed as a magic service to get a job rather than it being a starting point. Yeah. Yes. And that is the thing. As long as you go into a boot camp understanding that what you're really getting is 100% guarantee that the stuff you're learning is the things that matter, right? Now, do you learn it? I don't know. You know what I mean? I will say Nicole did. She's solid. Big ups to you, Sun and Han. Yeah. And yeah, she's been working on projects with me. So here we are. Okay. Let's get into the main thing. Oh, there's Nicole. Hi, Nicole. What's happening? I can't press Figma right now. Okay. Got you, Nicole. Is it like locked? Did I lock it? I fucking locked it, didn't I? I locked it. Oh gosh. I locked the there it is. I was like, why can't I click on these? All right, so what we're gonna do now, we are not doing portfolio reviews today. We are gonna do a mini component prototyping, and then we're gonna do the big thing. The thing that Figma just launched is mode switching in prototype. So you might have seen this before. I actually did a live tutorial of like about a month ago-ish. Yeah, here it is. Is it? No. We're going to find it. Here we go. This one was it. So we I made this guy. I turned this into variables, variable colors. So by using this guy over here, we can select a section, or no, just needs to be a section. We can select a section. I'm going to switch this from light to dark. Huzzah. Shit. I promise it works. I promise it works. I thought this was working last time. Here you go. Live hangs. There it is. Dude, no. Come on. There you go. Okay. Here we are. Okay. So, yeah. We can just do a quick little switch, and we're in dark mode. Now, the beauty of what Figma just launched, though, is you can now do that from a prototype. You couldn't do that from a prototype before. You had to go back out and then demo that, like switch it over and then reload the prototype, right? Now you can switch it, which means we can have dark mode toggles inside of our prototype. So that is what we are going to go do today. Here we are. Are you ready? Where is it? Where are we at? Variable modes. Okay. So, as I said, I've rigged up this prototype already. Now, here's the trouble though. We're going in here, and I'm gonna start designing it. Or sorry, I'm gonna start fiddling with it. Let's just do this bad boy. Go over here, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a new tab, and there you go. We're good. Cool. Oh wait, this one's dark. Oh, it's because it's manually dark because I was living in the old days of Figma when they didn't allow us to do stuff like this. But here we are. We can fix this. We can fix this easily. Additionally, I had it right here too, where when you press this, wait, shit, it's dark mode all of a sudden. Why? What? Because I just like rigged it up that way. But now let's fix that so that we can actually dark mode everything from the prototype. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom back out. I'm gonna go ahead and grab all of these, and I'm gonna switch this from dark to auto, right? I'm gonna set that to auto. Now we're good. I'm gonna do the same thing with notes. We are going from dark to auto. Perfect. Okay. Looks like I didn't rig up this thing, but fuck it. I'm not gonna fix that. Who cares? Who cares? Okay. So first step is getting a dark mode toggle in, right? Now, how do we do such a thing? Here we go. Oh shit, this was actually a component. So I'm gonna go ahead and break that component. Detach it. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna put this in the background. Here we are. So this is what our dark mode toggle is gonna look like. Let's go make the dark mode version of that. So this is currently light mode. Now we are going to hide the sun. Let's put it down to 0% opacity. Make this go to 100% opacity, and then we'll turn this from backwards. Right? Yes, backwards. And then I'm going to fill this with that. Here we go. Cool. Easy. Does that make sense? So we got light mode is on, dark mode is on, right? So both are a frame, right? So I'm going to just delete this. I'm going to grab both of them. I'm going to right click and press create component. All right. And now, sorry. Create component set. Fuck, my bad. So we're going to go up here, press this little drop down. Instead of pressing right here to create the component, we're going to press this little drop down caret, and we're going to do create component set, right? And now we have a create component set situation. And so this is actually a set. So I can pull this out, and now over here on the sidebar, oh wait, they're not named properly. I'm gonna switch this from default to true, and now we've got that ability to be switching this out. So traditionally you would use that inside of your designs, and then inside of the design you would go in and be like switch it over or whatever, right? By the way, if you want to get a property situation with some variants that have a toggle over here instead of a drop down, because that's annoying, right? 2 clicks to switch from dark mode true to dark mode false. Let's just do false and true, and then now it's automatically toggle. Love Figma. Figma's the best, right? Can we just say that? Let's just say that. Figma is awesome. So, all right. We've got our dark mode situation set up. We've got our component set up. And now the only thing left to do is create a setup where we can switch over the variable modes from our prototype, right? So I'm going to press Shift E to switch over to prototyping. And I'm going to basically click and drag over here. Normal way, right? Maybe we put a smart animate on this bad boy. Maybe we do it that way too. So now when we go over here, what the hell? Now when we go over here, it's switching back and forth. Looks nice. You can't really see it too well. Can't really see it too well, but it's working and it's animating and it looks beautiful. Now, what's the next step? Well, now what we need to do is create swap the variable mode. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to press this plus button right here. When you press that plus button, traditionally there was just set variable and then it went to conditional, but now there's a new thing, set variable mode. So we're going to set variable mode from dark to light, or no, sorry, we're going to set it to dark, right? And then that way we can do a set variable mode to light. All right. And the real thing you got to worry about here is make sure that you do that variable switch before you make the change. Because once it makes the change, it loses the state from before and it no longer tracks that set variable mode. So you got to put that above the change too, and then we should be solid. So we got this now, and it's going to be switching this variable mode once it's actually like set, right? I'm going to make sure that everything's looking good. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it over here. Oh yeah, now the designs aren't actually going to look like this. It's fucking wonky on the spacing here. But, you get it. So, we've got it switching. Wait, it's not working. What's happening? Well, here, let's make sure that the variable modes are working. And this is dark. V3 to dark. Okay. So that should work. Oh, you know what also we need to do? We need to set this property. We need to assign it with the dark mode on and off. Yeah, okay. That's the thing. We need to also, yeah, okay. So it seems like variable modes does not work from the component. Let me just drop the change to thing, and let's just see if that's bugging it out. Let's just make sure. I mean, this is a new feature, right? So we're still all learning how to use it. It seems proper. Yeah, okay. So it seems like component-based prototyping does not actually set the variable mode. So let's just manually go and press prototype. We'll do a on-click event. We'll change this to set variable mode, and we'll set it to dark. Let's see if that works now. What the fuck? Maybe it wasn't working. No. Come on. Come on, you. Bro, I swear, I tested this thing earlier. It was fucking working. Let's just put it on this button. Let's just see what happens. Set variable mode to dark. Am I setting the right V3? Oh shit. Dude, I copied in some shit from my other file. So that's what happened, is that I went to the wrong V3. Set variable mode, not this V3, this V3 to dark. We're going to switch this V3 to that V3. Let's make sure that I didn't override it over here. Okay, cool. So we are good. All right. Let's see. Come on, baby. Yes, dude. Did you see that? Fucking worked. Fucking worked. Finally. All right. So, now we've got this prototype. We're running around. We're flipping around. We head over to our settings. We turn on dark mode. We head over here. And now everything else is dark mode. Isn't that fucking awesome? Now, I did notice one issue, though. Here's the issue. It doesn't work. It's not toggling the right way on the way back. Now, why is that? Let's talk about that, because it's a big one. It's an important thing that we're going to need to talk about. So let's jump into it. Let's just make sure, though, that it is the right? Yeah. Oh, never mind. Is it? Fuck yeah. There we go, baby. There we go. Do you see that? So everything's working proper. We can go to our settings. We can make it dark and light. And it's dark and light everywhere else. Like magic, y'all. Like magic. Little bugs here and there that I had to work through on my own self. It's not on Figma Sim. I was learning on my own. But yeah. So now here's the question: is if you didn't use a component-based prototype right there, how is that going to work, right? Now this is why component-based prototyping is so valuable. Is you can send stuff back and forth like that. Right, I'm changing the variable mode and then I'm sending it back, and I'm changing the variable mode and I'm sending it back. Right, so that's awesome. Now, what if this toggle wasn't a component? Like it probably should be, but let's just say it's not. Right, let's say that up on the nav bar up here, we've got it like just here, right? And I'm gonna break the prototype. Or actually, no. Here's what we can do. We can just do like toggle dark, right? Cool. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we're going to do another interaction. Instead of scroll to, we're going to do set variable mode. Sorry, and we're going to go from light to dark. Okay, here we go. Come on, you fucker. I used the wrong one again. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it works. And now we can be bouncing around and it all still works. Now the trouble is we can't go back to light. So we broke it. Well, no, we didn't break it. What happened is we're not actually using logic, right? So when you make a component like this with with the prototyping inside of the variable like this, right? Prototyping inside of the component. That's a good thing because what happens is it silos the state to just that thing, and it runs all the logic that bounces back and forth inside of this component, right? And so that's why it's so important to do component-based prototyping. But in cases like this, where like maybe it's not dark mode or something, maybe it's something else, like going from English to Spanish, right? And so then that's not, maybe again that should be a component, but let's say it's not. The trouble is you have no logic tracking. Once you've clicked it, you have no way to get back to it. So what we need to do is we need to create a new variable. So we're going to go ahead and grab this variable. I'm going to switch over to V3, and I'm going to say Boolean is dark, right? Wait. Boolean. Where the fuck did Boolean? Oh, it's up here. It's dark. There you go. Light is off and dark is on. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to go in here. We're going to switch over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a conditional logic step. So we're going to move inside of here. So when we want to go to dark, we need to make sure that is dark is false, right? So as long as dark is false, then yeah, switch it to dark. Otherwise, set variable mode v3 to light, right? Easy. Just another step of logic, and now it should be toggling. Hell yeah. Okay. Whoo! That's it. Make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? This is the better way to do it, for sure. But I just want to give you two ways to do it in case you needed, in case you just like wanted it. There you go. I gave it to you. Yeah. What else can be done with this feature? Yeah. So, as I was saying, Spanish to English kind of stuff, right? So this goes for any variables, right? So we've got variables in here. We got colors, right? That's the big one that we're working on right here. But maybe you've got spacing sizes, right? You could like increment them upwards or downwards by having different modes, right? So maybe it's like small, medium, big, right? Instead of light and dark, right? And so then small, medium, big can get incremented from the prototype by just switching over the variable mode to the other side, or going from English to Spanish, or USD to British pounds, right? Something like that. Like that's kind of how you could do that stuff. So, hey, is there a way to create a back swipe gesture? Yes, definitely. Let me show you how to do that. Sure, let's show you. Okay, so let's just bring this in. Am I freelance or do I work for an agency? Yes, I currently am starting to build a design agency, slowly but surely. Yeah, so but it's me, basically it's all me, and then I got some help. Her name's Nicole. She's an awesome designer, and we work on a bunch of stuff together. So that's it. Does it make sense? So yes, if you're asking because you want to do work with me, hit me up. Nicole keeps dropping it. I love it. Okay, so I just made this really awesome back button right here. Like, look how good that back button is. So that's what we doing over here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I did a mouse enter. Let's switch that to click. So on click, it's gonna switch to this. Now I want to make it where this back button goes backwards, right? So we could just do a click. We could do smart animate as well, and then yeah, actually, fuck. This is not the best way to show this. Here we are. I'm going to just drag this in. Art teacher and taking a UX course online. Love UI UX so far. Hell yeah. Keep going. It's fun. It's definitely there's ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? There's times where it's amazing. There's times where it's brutal. But that's life. And yeah, just keep it in perspective that we get to do some really fun stuff, right? We get to use our brains and to build cool stuff. So that's what I love about design. For me, it's like kind of a means to an end, right? I fell in love with design not because I like the process of design. I fell in love with it because I love to build shit and then see users use it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the only thing I really want in life is to have people use my thing. You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah. So anyways, okay, so what I just did was I made a little thing. I probably could have done it as an overlay, but then we couldn't have got this nice little animation on there because I'm going to also be sliding this in as well, which you cannot accomplish using an overlay inside of Figma. Oh, shit, I got to do that over on the other side, though. Woo! Come on, baby. Fucking hell. There you go. Here we go. Inwards. There we go. All right, here we go. Okay, cool. So now, what it's going to do is when you click on this tab bar, it's going to slide in, and then we're going to make a way to close that with a swipe gesture by swiping that way. Okay? Easy stuff. Not to say that this is the right user experience for this design, because that's not what I designed it for. So I just wanted to demo this, though. So we got it like this, where clicking the tab bar slides it in. Cool. Very nice. You could even make that a fancier animation by, instead of just smart animate ease out, do like a slow, but put it at like 400 milliseconds. Here you go. Let's see it. Boom. Look how pretty that looks, right? Or you could go like gentle. Gentle's a really good one. It gets a little bouncy to it. The only trouble is you start to see this stuff over on the other side, which is not ideal, right? You don't really want that. So that's why I often do like a slow at 400. Okay, cool. So we got that. Now how do you get back? Well, here's how you do it. Basically, just like grab this whole thing, right? This whole guy right here. Press Shift E, click and drag, and then instead of click, make it drag. Easy fucking peasy. Here we go. Butter. It's like butter. It's like butter, right? Sorry for just saying butter a bunch. Sometimes it's just fun to fucking do just play with prototyping. You know what I mean? So, in case you don't know, I actually make most of my content inside of Figma Smart Animate. If you want to see what that looks like, it's crazy. It's mayhem. Yeah, look at that. You see? This is from a video a while ago. Check it. The problem. You got to do competitive analysis. You got to find problems and stakeholders. So yeah, this. Now I just record my screen while I do this. I do have a YouTube channel. I do not post long form stuff there yet. Currently, I do have 2 courses though. I've got a Figma course and I've got a UI course as well. So basically, the Figma course is all about this stuff. There's a lot of prototyping and a lot of advanced prototyping features that I walk through too. But the biggest thing that I talk about in the course is workflow tactics, right? Being able to like improve your speed and your future proofing, your workflow stuff, where it's like using frames and why to use frames and how to use auto layout, how to use nested auto layout, stuff like that. That's where the juice is on my Figma course. And yeah, so yeah. I am going to config. Are you going to config? Saluj? Who else is going to config? Working on a project for a client, and all I need to do this weekend before signing off the designs to dev is some interactions. So this is perfect. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Tam. Hope you just got something out of that. You're going as a product manager. Super cool. Very cool. Yeah, last year I met mostly designers, but I bet there's going to be a lot more product managers going out there because I felt like last time it was like very busy, and then but still like there was a lot of people who were like, damn, I wish I went. And so yeah, I think that's going to be more and more. Hey Red, just a general question: the interaction you just made in Figma, do developers have to custom code these? As developers I work with currently can't do it and want an SVG animation for all of it. Wow, that's a bummer. Yeah, so not necessarily. So yeah, let's think on it. So to do animations like the visual animation, like the this one, you've got to do like a Lottie file or something like that with this. But to do like the page transitional stuff, that's generally pretty tough to get a developer to do. And that's why I don't spend too much time on that sort of stuff, because they could do it, but like, why should they do it, right? And the truth is why should they fucking do it? Is there a reason? Like, because it's cool, right? But then here's the thing: every design decision that we make as designers stacks on other design decisions, right? I talk about this all the time when I'm doing portfolio reviews. I see people who made a spacing decision at one point, and then that spacing decision, I was like, I think this is going to come back to bite them in the butt. And then, we're 10 screens deep, and they've got way more content now, and the way that they did their spacing strategy from the beginning is fucked. And now it's breaking down, and they didn't go back and fix it. And that's the whole thing, is you got to keep going back and fixing it. But anyways, as far as transitions go, it's the same thing, right? If you do a transition, even just like a push in. Now that push in is a standard transition. People should be able to do that just fine from the developer standpoint. They should definitely be able to do that. But something where like zooms in, or like a card scales out to full screen, like stuff like that, that's probably not going to be easy to do from a developer perspective. What you might be able to do is like a Lottie file thing, where you actually they fake it, where it's like the card size and then it scales out. The other one that I would say though is check out Rive. Rive is really fucking cool. And it's very developer friendly. It's very easy for developers to integrate with. And the beauty is a lot of the work is on us to map out and to document it properly, and then run some state shit. So that way we just say, hey, just load this and pass this when this happens, and pass this data point when the other thing happens. Let me show you my screen for both of those two. So first one is Lottie files. The other one is Rive. I'm a big fan of Rive. So Rive, if you are familiar with After Effects, you'll be right at home. I actually learned how to do this on a TikTok live. Like I first opened it on a TikTok live, and then I animated like the coolest fucking thing. And it was like interactive, and like it was like a little dolphin in a fishbowl, and the developer on the dev side, they could pass like whether the tail was wagging and how much it was wagging, and it would run. So all they had to do was pass, wag 10, and that was like 100% wagging, right? But wag 5 was like kind of a slower wag, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's how you can do it in Rive. Now Lottie, there's some good stuff in there. Lottie has like generalized like a bunch of people who have made some cool animations, and these are very lightweight. Like look at this, 230 kilobytes. That's actually pretty heavy for a Lottie file. You don't often see files that big for Lottie. Like I bet this one's like 10. Let's see. I don't see any sizing. I'm sure it's small, but even 200 kilobytes is very small for an animation like of that nature, right? And so that's what's cool about Lottie. And there's actually a Figma plugin, so you'd actually frame by frame, like you could frame by frame this bear, and then turn all of that into an animation that spits out into something like this that loads on web, mobile, and apps and everything like that. So those are kind of like the two animation libraries that I'd recommend. I would definitely lean towards Rive though, because not everybody's going to use it. And the other side too is it's also tough to get developers to load new libraries, right? They're always very focused on speed. In my last startup, we had this thing where basically it was a third-party plugin on your website. So we would load little images and shit over top of your website that would allow the marketers to manage stuff on large enterprise sites, so they didn't have to keep going back to the dev team. And so, so what we did, we wanted to add animations. Well, I was like, hey, let's do Lottie, and he was like, damn, the library would increase load time by very small amount, but it affected the Lighthouse score on load time very much. It affected it a lot. And our whole deal was saying, hey, we don't do any Lighthouse effect. Like you can load it and it's like a fucking line of code, and then it loads, and the library is very small as well, like our library. And so so then it was like, okay, well, how the fuck do we do this then? How can we do this? And so what I did was I made a series of SVG sprite sheets, and then we manually went boom 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 boom, right? Because basically what Lottie files is doing, and all the other ones is like it's like a big sprite sheet. It was like this big of a file, but because it was SVG, it could be colored and customized and all that. And yeah, that's how we got a full animation suite on this thing without affecting load times or even loading the library. But again, that was very fancy, very custom, and yeah, but it just goes to show like developers don't like loading new libraries. So it might be hard to convince somebody to use Rive unless you're gonna say, hey, we're gonna use this here, 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 and here. So shut the fuck up, let's do it. So yeah, yeah. Did I try with React? Try what with React? Allah. And also, Super Comic Shop, thanks so much for following me. Appreciate you. Joey, did somebody ask about the price of my Figma course? Yeah, my Figma course is $29.99. By the way, I am currently working on a new section in that. It's going to be more beginner stuff, and then also going to have a section on components. When I launch that, the price is going to go up, but if you buy it now, yeah, you'll get grandfathered in. That should be launching probably July, so just heads up. So you got time, but I just wanted to, give you the juice. One question: have you used Anima, Figma to Code? I've not used it before. No. I did use one of the CodeGen ones. I got my team to start using it, and they actually were using it pretty good, and it generates pretty solid code Tailwind code. So yeah, are you high on Adderall? No, Ja. I just get to do this. Like, this is how I make money. Like, this is how I make my living. I got 3 daughters, and my wife homeschools my oldest because she has autism. Like, I'm just living the dream. I'm so lucky to get to do this, right? Like, And so I just appreciate you all being here, listening to me fucking rant a while. So appreciate you. Much love to all of you guys. I'm like, yeah, I'm just buzzing, you know. That's why it seems like I'm on Adderall, because I'm buzzing from joy, you know. Any tip for a beginner's portfolio? Hey, Dungus, go watch a bunch of my stuff over on YouTube, because I've been doing portfolio reviews on almost every video. On almost every live, I've done a portfolio review. And I just like talk very detailed shit of what I see as a hiring manager. Specifically go back to like the mid-April ones, because I was much more focused on those. Like I would only review one, and I was like taking it line by line. Like, yo, the fact that you said this word throws me off, and I might not hire you because of it. Like I was like going that detailed on it. And it's like, and that's the thing with portfolios, is every little bit helps, right? Like that, and nothing specifically hurts beyond can you show that you have strategy. But more importantly, can you show that you use that strategy in your designs? Like that is the biggest fucking thing that you need to do, right? But outside of that, there's a million little things that you can do to increase your chances of getting an interview. I think the biggest one is making great visualizations, because me as a hiring manager, I'm going to your portfolio after having reviewed 50 other portfolios in this sitting, right? So how can you make it where I can scroll like boom, 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 and I'm still picking up what you're saying. I can understand that you have a strategy, and then I see the final designs and they're connected to that strategy. If you can do that through better visualizations, I think you'll have a really great shot at getting a job. Agreed. UI designer is where it's at as a job. Yeah. I'd say product designer is, because, you know, there's something nice about making some great UI. But you know what's more nice is having an effect on a product. You know what I mean? That's why I've only ever worked in startups. You know, no sweat to people who do, you know, corporate gigs, but I can't do it. I can't live. It's too slow for me. It's too slow for me. So yeah, it looks like I'm frozen over on Instagram. Are you guys seeing that I'm frozen on Instagram? What do I mean by strategy? Okay, let's talk about what I mean by strategy. So strategy for it, when it comes to the design side is everything that we do as designers starts from, and like I'm calling it lately, an inciting incident, right? We don't just go design something randomly, right? We're designing stuff because we want to optimize sales conversions. We want to optimize onboarding. We want to make it so that people can create the first thing faster, right? That is what we're doing as designers. Is even on like a fresh project, it's we need to address this one, the key feature. We need to fucking nail that one, right? That's the big thing that you need to accomplish, that you need to keep in mind on your case studies is. Even if you're doing fake projects, make a fake inciting incident. Make a fake problem. Hey, they weren't getting enough conversions, or, you know, there was a drop off here and here, you know, and then that is why we designed. And so then it's like, okay, so if that's the problem, well, we first need to nail down what exactly about this is the problem, right? Is it that they don't have enough context? Is it that we're being too slow on the onboarding? You know, are we being too intense on the onboarding and then like holding their hand too much, right? And so you need to find what that is, right? And then from there, you need to get everybody to agree that that's the problem, right? Because if you're going and doing that in a silo, if you're not bringing it to like the next rung up beyond your product manager and getting buy-in from there, then those people are seeing are going to be like, what the fuck's happening? Why are you like talking about this right now? Like what, like, are we sure that this is really what we should be working on? If you heard that, it's because you aren't moving slow enough in the buy-in phase, right? And you can show all this in your case studies, right? And then once you do all that, once you have, you know, the problem solved, or not solved, but we know what the problem is. Here's some solutions that we came up with. We tested those solutions. These are the final designs. You see, but all of it builds on that inciting incident, right? And so that's the thing. I'm frozen, but you can hear me at least. Okay, well that's good because I mean I'm just kind of sitting here talking to the camera. So sorry if I'm frozen over on Instagram. Much love to you. Appreciate you still being there. Love the setup. What am I streaming from? I'm streaming from Streamlabs, and then I'm using Streamlabs as a virtual webcam and then using that webcam inside of TikTok Studio, and then I'm also streaming to TikTok. So I'm streaming TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube right now. But I think Instagram's fucked. I don't know. I'm a developer. I struggle to come up with nice design, but I know how to use Figma, but it's hard. So here's the thing. Joel. You know, I would say if you're trying to be a developer, you probably don't need to know design very well, right? You don't need to come up with designs on your own. If you ever work on a team, on a product team or anything, you're probably not going to do much designing because every moment that you're spending designing, you're not developing. And so everybody gets really siloed like that. But it's a good thing because everybody has their own domains. You know what I mean? But if you do want to hone your visual eye, I would say from a developer standpoint, like a front-end developer standpoint, go try to build stuff on Dribbble because like that's like really fancy, bubbly designs. And I'll tell you, I've worked with so many front-end developers who can't cut it. They're not detailed enough on the visuals, you know what I mean? Like I know how to. I'm a front end developer as well. I can build in React, and for me, it's always a chip where I'm like, bro, you did this wrong. Here's how you should do this. Boom, 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 boom. I'm definitely a fucking know-it-all sometimes, but I try to be nice about how I'm a know-it-all, you know? Yeah. But yeah, Mustafa, there you go. That's how I would upgrade my skills too, from visuals perspective. Do you think we should prioritize design strategies that optimize conversion? I mean, it's tough to say, Bruno. The truth is that's what we're here for. That's why we have a job. That's what we get paid to do, is to optimize conversions, right? Whatever that conversion is, that's the question mark, right? That's the moving target. And so, yeah, there was a few weeks ago, people were like, hey, what do you think about like designing for customer experience or designing for business experience? And I'm like, it's all the same fucking thing. It's all the same thing. We as designers are moving the needle, right? And we're doing that through determining what is affecting the needle, determining what things would help fix that needle problem, and then going and doing things, and then we see if the needle moves, right? And so yeah, I think that's the thing. Is like ultimately that's the only thing that matters. You know what I mean? But hey, Mustafa, look, don't want to toot my own horn here, but I do have a UI course. So in there, I talk about specifically information architecture because I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to UI is not even bubbliness, right? Like if you can be timeless in your designs, but you're coming at it from an information architecture strategy and taking every level of your design with that strategy in mind, then you're winning. So buy my course if you want. Are redesigns good for portfolios? Can I use a real app to redesign? I would say avoid it because unless it's like a genuinely shitty app, right? But every time I see a redesign of Airbnb or any kind of product like that, it's like, who are you to be redesigning that, right? They've got teams of people, millions and millions of users of data, right? So much time has been spent optimizing that shit, and you're just coming in making some fanciness. Cool. If you did a good job on making it look cool, the best that you get out of that is oh yeah, that's cool. Like, oh yeah, they can design visually great. You know what I mean? So I would say really, really avoid it unless it's just like absolute brutal stuff. And then what's cool when you get that is you could go in, look at like the App Store reviews and use those as your inciting incidents, right? And like people who are bitching about the experience, you can then say, look, I optimized the experience, right? And then if you're vague enough on the details, they might even think that you went and fucking designed this thing out for a client or something like that, So, yeah. Um, yeah. Hey, I got to go in a few minutes, but I'll leave it on Mustafa's question. How do I see UI UX jobs in the future as it relates to AI? And that's a really great question. And there was a moment where I was like, I think all of us had that existential crisis moment where it's like, fuck, is everything going away? Like, are we? Is there going to be any jobs left that use our brain? And the truth is it may happen, but I'll tell you this: all the algorithms of like the social algorithms and everything. Like, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the term machine learning, right? Well, my first startup that I made in college was with my best friend who's a genius, and she was building machine learning stuff when machine learning wasn't even really like a word yet, it was like still not like, it was definitely not common knowledge. But even us in the field building a product, like it was like a fitness app that used machine learning to create workouts. Like even then, the best we could say was, yeah, the stuff that Google DeepMind is doing, we're using those same models to build our model, and that was fucking 14 years ago. And it took probably 8 years before it was really like everybody was using it. If you're not using it, you're fucked, and all that stuff. And so this shit moves way slower than we give it credit to. So that's one. I think the other side too is there is always a human component to this. Yes, there might be an effect on jobs over time. However, I think what it's really doing is it's cutting the fluff, right? It's cutting the fluff to the people who are actually, passionate and good at this, right? Because those are the people who are effective, right? We still have to get humans to agree to the things that we want to do. Those humans cannot express themselves very well because they already can't express themselves to us, right? And we're able to have a conversation, a detailed conversation. We're able to slow things down and stop and ask the right questions and all that. And let's say that AI can get to that point, right? Let's say that it's there and that they can like navigate to all that. Well, they're still going to be so tied up with everything else that I just don't see it being replaced. Here you go, Russ. Oof, there you go. But I don't see us designers being replaced fully, at the very least, fully. But then the other side too, though, is what I do think it's going to do is it's going to replace some of the UI side, some of the like actual like final design side. We're going to be able to get through that stuff a lot faster, and it's going to be a lot more of the boring stuff, the quote unquote boring stuff. But it's also that's the stuff that makes you an effective designer. It's, hey, I actually got somebody to fucking agree to this thing, even though they were against it 2 days ago, right? AI can't do that, right? I mean, maybe it can one day. Again, like anything's possible, but I really don't think I think it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long while before that happens in a large scale spot. So should I start learning React as a designer? I'd say nah. Just learn the limitations that devs have. What's the most important thing you need to focus on when you design? Strategy, like the strategy as it relates to what do I as a user care about in this moment, right? I care about this because I have these issues. So show me the way to that path, right? That's what we need to do as designers is nail what that is and then go nail the design to go help those people get that thing. So, all right, y'all, I'm out. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome weekend. Much love to all of you. Appreciate you all for being here. I feel so lucky that y'all are here listening to me. So thanks so much.